We're back with Cheryl Tuttle from Last Paw Training. Hi, Cheryl.
How you doing?
Today, we're going to talk about dog leash pulling. Leo and Lucky's, we do have lots of different walking
Training aids.
Training aids. Thank you. That's exactly what I want to call them. Let's start with the gentle leader.
Okay. So gentle leader is one of my favorites in the sense that it is considered to be gentle, thus the name. And so there's a couple other brands. Halty's another one. And Halty was made actually by a behaviorist in the UK. So I really like the concept that they came up with. But the whole concept behind a head halter, a head collar, is that what you control the head, you control the body. Generally very gentle, meaning that it doesn't inflict any pain. It should be open mouth. The dog should open its mouth, catch a ball, eat, bite if it wants to. It's not a muzzle. And that's a common misconception, which is one of the cons of a gentle leader. But the positive to it is that you have the head. So you turn the head, you can gently guide the dog away from whatever they're moving towards. And in training, we generally think about associations and what dogs are looking at. So what a dog is looking at, they're thinking about. If you can turn their head, you can often get them to change their thought process. So some of the cons with the gentle leader though, are that, and you're going to hear this with every tool with me. So disclaimer.
I'm totally fine with that.
Big on education, and you should not use a tool you don't understand. So if you don't understand how it works, what it does to your dog, and how you should handle it, you should not be using it. And so this is a problem with the gentle leader is it's put on within 30 seconds. The dog is flailing about, scratching it off their face. The owner thinks, okay, what should I do? And pull on the leash. And so now we have this really ugly experience for the first time. So I and I actually give away free videos to my clients of me showing you how to introduce a gentle leader, because that's how passionate I am about it, is that you should not put this on the dog without explaining it to them first. And so since I can't use words, I have to use tricks. So I can sometimes spend anywhere between 1 day to a week, 2 weeks before I will ever walk a dog on a gentle leader. I will put it on, teach them how to wear it, teach them when they move their head up and down and that they're not going to be restricted, but there's no need to panic. And I also don't often throw them right out into the bad situation with it on. So it's one of those, so the con is that it really does require some good handling skills and education. And if your dog's been pulling on you, you naturally are going to contract your muscles against that leash. And when you do that on a gentle leader, it's a very hard correction. Okay. So you must be very, very mindful and have soft hands when you're using a gentle leader.
Okay, that's great advice. Martingale collars.
So martingales are most commonly used by me, primarily because it's considered an escape-free collar. So if you take one of our classes, you're going to see on the supply list a martingale. The martingale has nylon across the neck, so there's no actual pressure points, and it's designed to not slide off the head. So another name for a martingale is a greyhound collar, and because greyhounds' necks are bigger than their head, and they wanted to get rid of choke chains, they had no way of getting this dog securely in a leash. So martingales were often created for that. So it just speaks to the collar itself is here, and then there's, well, I can't do it with my hands. There's a little extra piece that picks up the slack whenever there's tension, so that if the dog tries to escape, they can't. It does have a choking effect in the sense that it does close down a little bit, but it's not designed to be a choke chain, and it certainly doesn't administer the kind of correction a choke chain would. So dogs can pull very hard on martingales. So when we use a martingale, the goal is start it with training techniques so that the technique supports the tool. And the other thing, a martingale allows us to create a makeshift, what I call a belly wrap. It wraps around the rib cage, slides through the martingale part, and I can create a really quick little harness that can correct pulling without pain. The martingales can be a quick, easy way of training. They also can have they can get their jaws caught in the martingale part. So it has its things you have to be careful about. Don't leave it on your young dogs unattended. I recommend for my training students to take it off when they're done training on a leash. Also, do not let your puppies play with other dogs, with really any collar on, but a martingale in particular, very dangerous. They can easily get tangled and then quickly get twisted and panic. It can be really ugly.
Okay, that is good information. Easy walk harness where we've got our point in the chest.
So I usually refer to this as a front clip harness. So Easy Walk is a fine product. It's also, the maker is Pet Safe, which used to be Premier Pet Products. And they came up with what I consider their sort of big sister or little sister is the 3-in-1 harness, which is really my favorite at this point because of the way that it falls on the chest. So the Easy Walk harness is commonly right across the chest, and it has a little martingale piece that cinches up and kind of pulls to the left or right. So the 3-in-1 harness is one of my favorites just because of the dynamic of the collar and how it goes down the chest. I can make the neck piece smaller, and it's less, the dog's less likely to escape. So Easy Walk harnesses can sometimes lay real low, and then they kind of adjust as they are pulling. And if someone doesn't understand the tool, they can slip out of it. So
they're a little awkward to fit too.
Yeah. And so I think that's why 3-in-1 was brought into the picture. Instant work. You don't have to train for it. It gives you an instant reaction, and then you can start to apply your technique of not allowing them to pull. It also really inflicts almost no pain on the throat or anything. There are some dogs that drop their head when they pull and they might cough, but that's going to happen with any tool. So front clip harnesses, there's God, a dozen brands out there right now. But Easy Walk harness and 3-in-1 are the most common, most popular, and have been used, God, I'm 15 years they've been around. Very common in any of these tools is that the dog gets the pressure. You don't want them leaning into the pressure. You want them releasing it. So in the front clip harness, you can turn their body and shoulders, not as efficiently as you can with a gentle leader, but you can still turn them. And if you have good technique, you can do it really quickly. And the dog understands, whoa, I'm not moving forward anymore. I'm going backwards.
Good. And just like you said, good technique. Any type of no pull device should be used with training and with time, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight. And I think that that's the big thing that a lot of customers think is, I buy this device and this is going to make my dog magically not pull. Well, you have to make your dog magically not pull by using the device properly.
Absolutely.
So if you can't talk to Cheryl about it, come in and talk to our staff, and we can give you some feedback as to what we think might work better for your dog than others.